dish is progressing, finding new ways to present it, new ways to prepare it, but always keeping in with in mind that we are in the wine country, and our food has to marry with the wine that's produced in our region here.
The valley's pleasures aren't restricted to the palate. There are 13 spas in one town alone. The rustic White Sulphur Spring Resort and Spa was the valley's first, opening in 1852. They pamper your body in marvelous ways.
Now, this is a really laid-back type of place. It's more a retreat. I think we would call this a retreat rather than a resort.
And these cottages are 1920 cottages with knotty pine walls and pine floors.
So we've got still all the old world charm, you might say. That it makes for a very quiet, intimate setting.
The sulfur is from aquifers in the center of the earth. It's heated naturally. And the Indians came here many centuries ago for the healing qualities of the sulfur water. Today we say they cure bad dispositions. They're good for arthritis, rheumatism, and just getting out of the stress of today's world.
It's a place where people come to de-stress.
Okay, Kirsten.
Wrap. That's it. It's a herbal tea linen wrap. They've been soaking in herbal tea with about 10 different herbs in there. And it's called immunity. It's good for your immune system. Yeah, it has a wonderful smell to it. And you can actually drink that tea too. They're going to start to paint your back. This is mud from the Dead Sea, Kirsten. And what it does for you, it draws out toxins, and it's also exfoliating. So your skin going to feel really smooth afterwards.
Feels like face painting.
You can hear the creek, you can hear the birds. There's a wind chime nearby. You can hear that when the breeze blows. You really feel like you're melting down into your surroundings.
It's a totally different experience than having an indoor massage.
Little Liz.
She's getting there.
Our history is not about militarism and politics. It's about a great tradition of tolerance and compassion. There's something about the place that provides the freedom to think and to believe and to challenge beliefs that allows change to occur here in a dramatic way.
San Francisco's birth was the gold rush, because it was an all-male migration, and it was a migration of individuals as opposed to families or religious groups. The gold rush simply brought many gay men to this city. These young men happened to be the entrepreneurs of the day. They were the risk takers, the fortune seekers, men who were looking for a new, different, better, and freer life. So it just from the very get-go was a haven for liberal people, and that's never changed.
This is 18th and Castro. And this is reputed to be the gayest Four Corners on earth.
The Castro prides itself on being the heart of gay San Francisco.
The Twin Peaks Bar, that is the first gay bar in the world with plate glass windows. That bar opened up in '72. And it was sort of a commitment to saying that we will no longer hide, that we are simply here for all the world to see. Harvey Milk was our first openly gay elected public official. This little blue Victorian was where Harvey and his lover Scott opened up a camera shop. And he ran for office 3 terms before he finally went in on the 4th try. So he was sworn into office in January of '78. Unfortunately, he was assassinated that November. Well, you know, we're approaching a wonderful place here I'd like you to see, and it's Rococo's Fairy Queen chocolates.
We like to think that fun and folly and chocolate are not so greatly dissimilar. And we decided that the place to do it, if you were going to corrupt people, was to establish a shop for that very purpose. So we're into chocolate corruption here.
People that have no willpower have a place to not have it.
Hello, gorgeous. It's the Barbra Streisand Museum in San Francisco on the Castro for a tribute to Barbra Streisand while she's alive. Just sort of all started coming towards me when I decided to do it.
This is the original home of the AIDS Memorial Quilt, which of course has become, you know, the largest folk art object in the world, and is probably the greatest educational tool I think that this country has concerning the AIDS epidemic.
It ran from the Capitol all the way to the Washington Monument. This is between 40 and 45,000 panels. This is over a mile long.
Now, what you have hanging on the wall here, these are individual panels, and you see each of these panels are 3 feet by 6 feet. And the reason they are those particular dimensions is this is the size of a grave. This is the size of an average casket. So each one of these panels indeed represent a life that we have lost to the AIDS epidemic. Tourists are welcome to stop in at any time and visit here, or if they'd like to stop in and make a panel while they're visiting San Francisco, they can certainly do that as well.
Another of San Francisco's famous neighborhoods is the Haight.
The neighborhood survives today as a marvelous mix of things. There are still some hippies around, old ones and young ones, every imaginable ethnic coloration, and a few bewildered tourists wandering around looking for the summer of love.
It would be my recommendation that every man, woman, and child on Earth spend at least 1 year camping out on Haight.
I don't really know all that, man. I got here like about a week ago from Arkansas, just because, I don't know, it's the place to be, I guess. The kids that are down here, they're cool. They're not like really aggro like they are everywhere else.
Less than 2 miles from the Haight are Union Square and Nob Hill, home to many of San Francisco's upscale hotels, and in each is a valuable resource many overlook, the concierge.
I love the challenge of arranging things for a guest at the last minute, and it's so gratifying when they come back to me and say it was the best day they'd ever had. They would have never found that restaurant on their own. The seats I got them were fabulous at the theater, the opera. I always like to send a guest to a really very well-known, wonderful restaurant, but there are also those small, secret little neighborhood restaurants where a guest can just go walking to that they'll find so much more charming.
One of those is the Flying Saucer Restaurant. Chef Albert Tordjman opened it in 1990.
We have little time to do a lot of work, and that's the way it is at the Flying Saucer.
Albert has a lot of French influences. He's French-Moroccan, and so his food has a lot of that incorporated, and everything that you eat here, it's a flavorful mouth.
I wanted to do something different, a little bit more fun. I wanted to have a place where anybody could come and eat foie gras without having a real stuffy atmosphere. They call this kind of architectural, yeah, I guess architectural food, right? It's everything's vertical food. I guess the saucer is popular because it's a different type of cuisine presented differently. So you can have anything from fried squid, Thai style, to French smoked lamb chops, to sashimi of raw tuna, presented in a very stylized fashion. Rice.